Edging lower this morning. A couple of things weighing on Wall Street today. We've got some downgrades for General Electric and Boeing as well. Import prices were higher than expected there, so there are some inflation concerns for Wall Street today.
Now, there are a couple of big deals happening, one in the natural gas sector. What's going on?
Yes, Canada's second biggest gas producer, Canadian Natural Resources, is paying $4 billion for the Canadian assets of Anadarko Petroleum. Anadarko is based in Houston, Texas. 85% of these assets are in natural gas. It's going to increase Canadian Natural's gas reserves by 45%, so they're going to be growing, getting bigger. Now, Anadarko put these assets up for sale in June, actually, after it had paid $21 billion for a couple of companies. Kerr-McGee was one, and Western Gas Resources was the other. So they are looking to unload some of their assets, in part to pay down the debt that they used to buy these other companies. However, not included in the deal are some assets in some properties in the Arctic. So Anadarko is going to keep some of these Arctic producing properties, but the rest are going to Canadian Natural Resources. Well,
they are flush with cash, aren't they? We have another takeover happening in the gold sector to talk about this morning. What's happening?
Yeah, we've got IAMGOLD is buying Cambior for $1.3 billion. Now, this is a stock deal, not a cash deal. It's going to create the world's 10th biggest publicly traded gold company. So these are two Canadian companies getting together. This company is expected together to produce about 1 million ounces of gold a year by 2008. Now, IAMGOLD shareholders are going to have 57% of this company. The Cambior shareholders are going to have 43%. The company will be called IAMGOLD. As we recall, a couple of weeks ago, of course, Goldcorp and Glamis merged together in an $8 billion stock deal, or $8 billion deal rather, and Gold Fields agreed to buy a 50% stake in the Deep South mine from Barrick. So lots of merging in the gold sector. We'll see if any other smaller players end up getting scooped up down the road.
All right, that is CTV's Donna down at the TSX Broadcast Center this morning. Thanks a lot, Donna.
Thanks, Robbie. The Mail reporting saying Air Canada looks to be cutting a little over 300 jobs at airports and call centers across the country. 203 airport jobs, 100 jobs in call centers will be gone. They're looking at making these cuts next month. Toronto Pearson is going to get the worst of it. 116 customer service agents are scheduled to be laid off at Pearson. So the union, the Canadian Auto Workers Union, who represents these workers, is saying that this is going to result in a lot longer lineups and a lot more frustrated customers and longer waits over the phone if you want to book a flight. Air Canada, however, is saying that these layoffs are temporary due to a seasonal slowdown, and that the workers do have a right to be recalled. So it's though another blow to the frontline workers at Air Canada, who have gone through quite a bit since this airline came out of restructuring and bankruptcy protection a couple of years ago.
And there's a report Ford's losses may be deeper than anyone thought.
Yeah, a report in the Detroit News today is saying that Ford may be losing as much as $9 billion this year. $6 billion in losses coming from its core auto operations. That is huge if that turns out to be actually true. The Detroit News is saying that they came up with these estimates from an internal company report that suggests that the losses might be in fact this steep. That we know that this company has been very troubled for a long time now because of foreign imports coming in. Big three automakers in North America have suffered market loss because of other imports coming in and seeing their market share being eroded over time. And Ford obviously seeing some very tough times. We'll see if these numbers do come out. $123 million they lost in the second quarter, but if this is true, this is a huge, huge loss for this company that is desperately struggling.
Now, what about job losses at Ford?
Yeah, we're waiting to hear that. The board is in its second day of meetings trying to figure out about this restructuring and what they're going to do with this company. There are reports saying that up to 6,000 white-collar workers from Ford may have their jobs cut. So we're going to wait to hear if they do announce these job cuts today or tomorrow. But as I said, this is tough times for Ford, and we'll see just how deep these cuts are and how bad it is.
Donna Guzik, thank you very much.
Thanks, Kate. Story in my business report later on CTV News.
Screened over 20,000 Canadians for heart disease.
Sign this rhythm! Let's go, stabilize. It's okay, ma'am. You're gonna be okay.
You know you have high cholesterol or high blood pressure. What you may not know is they are major risk factors leading to heart disease. That's why on February 11th, we're holding Heart Health Clinic Day, where a health